Hey guys, it's me Day, and today's video is on instancing. I decided to do instancing because of all the misinformation out there and the non-information. Even myself, I had no idea really how it would work, this whole instancing thing, and I decided to compile all the information I could from forums and videos, and I'll put it out there to you guys. So let's start it off. Star Citizen is doing something a lot different than the common MMO. The classic MMOs are shard based. So I'll give you an example. World of Warcraft. It has a limited number of players per realm, so you're only playing with a certain amount of people. Star Citizen is trying to solve that issue with everyone in one single universe, but that has some specific attributes, and then it'll separate it from some of the other games. An example, one other game that's trying to do that, EVE Online. The Star Citizen system allows for the entire population to interact and develop the lore within the universe. Now there's going to be some interesting factors at work, and I'll try to do my best to portray all of this information for you. Unlike EVE Online, Star Citizen runs in the Crytek engine, and it has a humongous fidelity on the ships, as you guys have probably already seen. So having thousands of players all engaging in space, all within your view, is just not realistic at this point in time. And it's been said that around 100 to 200 ships is more plausible. But remember, all this is subject to change as this is early development. So let's talk about the system architecture itself. And remember, all this could change, like I just said, but think that RSI is pushing the limits of how this game is being made. And it's very exciting because all the video game platforms are going to benefit from this because they're going to be doing the same thing, pushing the limit. So this shared Star Citizen persistent universe will mainly be run by a system called the Galaxy server. This server is not going to handle any of the real-time load. Its function is to keep track of the important data that runs within the universe. So it's going to handle the locations and assets of the universe. What the Galaxy also does is manage and place players in instances depending on the locations of them. So these instances are basically shards that the player will not even notice he's flown into. You'll just know that you have engaged another ship in battle. And what this instancing does is help the universe manage the load of all the high fidelity battles happening everywhere in space. The Galaxy server, pretty much, is also going to manage the PvP slider bar. Now that PvP slider bar lets players suggest their play preference. So within the Galaxy server, different instances will be used to manage different situations. Battle instances will be used for space battles. Orbital instances will serve the space around planets and space stations. And the planet side instances will handle all the planet bars and docking areas, that sort of thing that you can imagine. Plus possibly first person battles down below one day. So let's discuss these orbital instances. Imagine a high traffic system with potentially thousands of ships entering and exiting the planet and just hanging around these areas, right? The starting areas, trading areas, that kind of thing. Each player is actually being able to render all of the ships coming in and out. It's probably impossible for our computers at this time. So this is where that instancing mechanic is going to come into play. Once an instance reaches its maximum number, let's just say, to make it really easy, it's 100, right? A new instance will be generated nearby with another, say, 100 maximum. The downfall of this is that you won't be able to see the full instances, right? But right now it's just not viable. It'll be like a view ranged thing. That's how they're going to explain it. One good thing is that this system will place you within instances where your friends or people you have tagged in game are. So you won't lose your groups, right? And if you don't know, you'll be able to tag somebody, say, and that person has to accept that you've tagged them, so you can't just tag people and follow them around. If I tag somebody and they accept, now we're part of a group pretty much, and you can see where they are. So let's move on and talk about planet and station instances. So once you enter a planet, a short cutscene will play and it'll pre-render you in. So it's kind of like a loading screen, but they'll mask it with a cinematic. These areas will be more like an instance that we're all really used to, an area with a player limit where everyone inside can engage each other and move around. And once it's full, a new instance is created on top of it for players to join. So you won't see anyone past whatever limit they set on those planet side instances. Pretty basic, right? So the final topic I want to talk about is battle instances. So I found that this is the area that with the most confusion, and it took me a while to figure the whole thing out. Now this is still speculation, as the game isn't released yet, and I'm sure it's going to change, but from information gathered from Chris Roberts and the forum posts and different videos, I've put together a basic rundown of how it's going to go. First off, the battle instances will be totally transparent and unknown to the players. So the key is that it won't take you out of the game to join a battle, and you'll be able to see a battle ahead of you as you approach because they're going to be transparent. RSI has said it's unlikely that we'll see giant 100,000 person battles. Like I said earlier, our computers just really couldn't handle it. But within 100 person instance battles will make more sense, right? You'll be able to see around you. However, in theory, these giant battles could actually still happen using these battle instances. The difference between a battle instance and orbital instance is that a battle instance won't hide players once it's full. Instead of hiding players, it'll split the instance into smaller shards seamlessly, and so it encompasses all the players within the battle, so you can actually interact in real time and see them. A key point in all this is that the instances are going to react to the amount of players inside the shard and not the amount of ships. So 25 constellations with 4 people in each one will count as 100 players inside that instance, and if that's the number, it would be full. But in theory, the surrounding instances will be unknown to you. What is amazing is that you can fire at other players in the other instances without you even knowing, because the shards will be talking to each other. It sounds like a complicated system, but it's actually very simple and really, really cool. Anyways guys, thank you for listening, and I hope I answered some of those questions that are out there. I know it's pretty complicated, but it's actually pretty simple, so feel free to comment and question, and don't forget to subscribe for more. I'm Day, and I'll see you later.